This is a storybook called My Bedtime Anytime Storybook. It has several stories about a Brew the bear, Koali the koala bear, Tux a penguin, PJ the zebra, McWhiskers the mouse, and a big blue hippo, who this story is mostly about. This is by V. Gilbert Beers, illustrated by Tim O'Connor, and published by Joyful Noise. This story is titled Someone's in My House, a story about helpfulness. "Brew, help me," said Puddles. "I was just going through my doorway when I heard someone in my house. Come and help me get him out." Brew raised one sleepy eye and looked at Puddles. "Can't you see I'm taking a nap?" "Come on, Puddles. A big guy like you can take care of it. Come back after my nap and I'll help you," said Brew. "After your nap?" said Puddles. "That could be next spring." Remember, Brew is a bear and they hibernate. But Brew didn't even hear him. He was fast asleep again. Puddles looked at Brew sleeping. He was almost angry with Brew, but he didn't have time to be angry. He had to find someone to help him. "PJ, help me," said Puddles. When he found his friend, "I was just going through my doorway when I heard someone in my house. Come and help me get him out." PJ was fixing a wheel on his wheelbarrow. He hardly looked at Puddles. "I wish I could, old pal," he said. "But as you can see, I'm really busy. Come back tomorrow. Maybe I can help you then." "Tomorrow?" Puddles shouted. "By tomorrow that thief will have walked off with everything I own. He may even take my house with him." You see, Puddles lived in a houseboat, so I suppose it is possible they could have stole his house too. But Puddles could see that PJ was completely interested in his wheelbarrow. He was almost angry with PJ, but he did not have time to be angry. So he ran to another friend to help him. "Koali, help me," Puddles said when he found him. Koali had just spread out a picnic lunch of eucalyptus leaves and had a mouth filled with them. He almost half heard Puddles tell him about the story of his house. "Really, Puddles, you are interrupting me," he said. "Do you know what I had to go through to get these wonderful eucalyptus leaves? You wouldn't want to spoil this wonderful lunch I have spread out, would you, old pal? Come back after lunch and I'll be glad to help you." Puddles looked surprised. That's probably because he was surprised. "By that time, the thief will have taken everything I have and be far away," he said. But Koali was enjoying his eucalyptus leaves so much he didn't even hear Puddles. Puddles sighed. Wouldn't anyone help him? Puddles looked for the next biggest friend. When he found Tux, he was surprised to see him sitting on a big cake of ice. "Tux, help me," he said. "I was just going through my doorway when I heard someone in my house. Come and help me get him out." "Puddles, really," said Tux. "Do you know what I had to go through to get this cake of ice? Who knows how long it will be before I get another one? Come back when it is melted." "And I'll help you then." Puddles looked at the big cake of ice. "That could be next week," he said. But Tux was enjoying the cake of ice so much he didn't even hear Puddles. Puddles felt sad and hurt. His friends were more interested in naps and wheelbarrows and picnics and ice cakes than they were in helping him. Wouldn't anyone help him? A big tear trickled down Puddle's cheek. "Won't someone help me?" he cried out. "I'll help you, old buddy," said a voice. "McWhiskers," he said, "you will really help me? But you're so little." "I'm big enough to help a friend," said McWhiskers. "What do you need?" Puddles told McWhiskers about going through his doorway and hearing someone in his house. He told him about his friends and their naps and wheelbarrows, lunches, and ice cakes. "Let's go," said McWhiskers. He grabbed the little baseball bat he had been playing with, took Puddles by the hand, and raced toward Puddles' house. It really did look funny to see little McWhiskers with his little baseball bat half dragging big Puddles to fight whatever was in his house. "Shh," said Egg Puddles when they reached the door. "Better be quiet. He might jump us." But as soon as they were inside, McWhiskers shouted in a roaring voice that would have frightened even Brew the bear. "Who's in this house? Get out here or I'll come in and get you," he shouted. Puddles was almost afraid of McWhiskers. It seemed that the whole house shook. It's just me," said a trembling voice. Puddles and McWhiskers looked at a chair in the corner of the room. They saw Owl perched on the chair next to the table. "Owl," they both said, "what are you doing here?" I came in from the rain this morning," he said. "Is this your house? I'm sorry, I didn't know." "It's Puddles' house," said McWhiskers softly. "Then I'd best be going," said Owl. "Sorry to have bothered you." "No, wait," said Puddles. "Why don't you both stay for an outside picnic lunch? I want to celebrate a very brave McWhiskers who helped me when I needed a helper." If you had stopped for lunch that day, you would have been surprised to see a mouse, an owl, and a blue hippo laughing and having a great time. And best of all, it was a special lunch to celebrate the brave mouse who became a good helper for a friend. Of course, you would have done the same thing, wouldn't you? That was the story of how Puddles was helped by McWhiskers. I hope you enjoyed the story.